than other real estate agents.
As we get rolling here in the gear closet, in case you're wondering what this is where we store all the gear, not just the shoes, peg 40s today, but also the jackets, the vests, all that good stuff. I'm always amazed whether it's 10 people or whether it's 100 people saying, you know what, I'm going to hit subscribe, check out this channel, this running YouTube channel, thank you. But I want to be very clear for all the new subscribers, and as we begin the new training block, that my training, I love volume. I believe in volume. I believe in volume. Some of it fast, much of it steezy, that zone, 1 to 2 range. But I want to be clear that I'm not always putting all my volume into the weekends. I actually put most of my volume Monday through Friday. Most of you know why. Family time. Saturday, Sunday is family time, all right? So therefore, I front load my volume, miles, kilometers, however much I'm running that week, Monday through really Thursday. And then Friday, if I have time, I'll do a double just to make sure on the weekends I'm not up in the mountains for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time, and especially in the mountain running season, gaining the vertical, getting ready for mountain races, FKTs, it just takes more time. And the foothills are close, but I often drive 30, 45, sometimes an hour to get to the mountains to get that high altitude training, which is, as just it helps on race day, especially for a race like Pikes Peak. So as we're traversing through this training block, and this is my log here, you're gonna see some unique, you're gonna see maybe 28 miles on a Monday if I'm doubling, and then 20 miles the next day. I'm only doing that because of the family. All right, I'm not advising that you do that. All right, I just want to make that very clear up front. Don't always do what I do. All right, it's just and everybody, and that's what we talked about this yesterday with finding a running coach. You got to make sure that your running coach understands you and your legs, your heart rate, your ambition, but also your family life or your work life or your school life or whatever it is. So it's striking that balance between training hard, but also, life is part of running is part of life, all right? So anyway, just wanted to be clear because there are some questions popping up about the volume that I'm doing, even in week 1, but it's, we're going to keep going up next week with 90 miles next week, all right? And I believe about 4,000 to 5,000 feet of vertical gain. Let's get out there in the rain. I think it's raining out. Let's pick a jacket here. And the rain has stopped. It's kind of a light drizzle. I always overdress, so I'm gonna take this jacket off. Got a on t-shirt on. I didn't mean to do that. It's quite nice. When you start your run right next to a Mexican restaurant, you want to pull over and get those tacos. Almost to mile 10, cruising along. These waters are crazy. I've never seen Bear Creek this full, ever. Wow.
Look at that. Beautiful. Mile 12, 6:33. Mile 13, all uphill. This is where it gets fun. Come on now, all uphill. Let's get it. Woo! Welcome back.
Question of the day. Name one of your favorite workouts. A progression is one of my favorite workouts. All right, we'll get to that in 1 second. So, Alan and James. I couldn't pick one. 2 comments of the day. Alan says, so thank you. This is amazing. Timing, right, in life is amazing. Alan says, Strava used to make Gear Web exclusive, but they added it to mobile a few months ago. Alan, I missed that. Thank you, everybody. They commented yesterday about how you can add shoes via mobile. I can't tell you, that's a game changer in my life with all the I'm looking at boxes over there. Anyway, Alan, you the man. Thank you so much for your comment. And then James, great vlogs past few days. Thank you, James. James is over in the UK. I met James at the Boston Marathon. James, someday, man, we're going to hang out. I'm telling you, we're going to hang out. Great vlogs past few days, chatting around some essential training, etc. This weekend, Abbott's is running a global 5K challenge. So I'll try for my first W in the park run on Saturday and then an easy long on Sunday. Have a great weekend, James. Right back at you. And so anyway, here we go. Progression runs. As we are early in the training block, it was a baby progression, nothing crazy, starting off very easy. If you can, find a course or a loop for your progression where the first part is a little more downhill and the second part, so the second half, whether you're doing a 10-mile progression, what is a progression run? Every mile, or if you want to do every kilometer, it's a little harder for every kilometer, but every mile you're getting a little faster and a little faster, and there's the stats on your screen, okay, a little faster, and what it does, and the real challenge is we'll have to do this. This might have to be a challenge we do actually, but if you know how we do the blind 5K, the blindfold 5K challenge, where you don't look at your watch at all and you predict a time that you can run. So you say, okay, I'm going to run a 21-minute 5K, 7 minutes a mile. But you cover your watch. You don't know the pace you're actually running. Well, a progression run, what it does is it forces you to really pay attention to, okay, I'm running 7:30 a mile when you are looking at your watch, and this is what my legs feel like. This is what my foot strike feels like. This is what I need to do to accelerate just a little bit and just a little bit. And so you see these stats on your screen, like it was pretty good, but I'll be totally transparent. I was looking at my watch probably 3 or 4 times per mile to nail these times, just so you know. Like I'm a little rusty. It's early in the training block, whereas in like two months from now, I could do that progression and probably not look at my watch, or maybe look at it once a mile. That's how, like when you really get dialed into your pacing and you figure out, okay, this is what it feels like to push off with my, everything from my quads to my calves to the toe off. It's amazing. And I was in the Pegasus 40s today, which it was an interesting shoe for that. At the end, the last mile was all uphill. And that was the point I was making a second ago, is that if you can find a course where you're running a little more uphill toward the end, you're going to see your heart rate go way up. And it's going to turn into a very difficult effort. And I got to say, like toward the end, I was running like everywhere from 6:05 pace to 6:30 pace. And I was like, okay, we're feeling good here. Like we are working and we are going uphill. Like I don't know what the last mile, it was probably, I'll try and find it and put it on the screen right now. I'm guessing it was about 250 to 300 feet of vertical gain. So as far as one of my favorite workouts, I got to say progression runs are right at the top of the list. All right. So it's something you could add to your training regimen, if you've never heard of a progression run, if you've never done one before, is start off slow. You saw, I think it was like 8:30 a mile roughly, that first mile, but then you just cut down and you cut down and you cut down. And whether it's a 3-mile progression or whether it's a 10-mile, whether it's a 20-mile, it just kind of changes it up. And again, it teaches you to listen to, okay, this is what 6 minutes a mile feels like on the legs, or this is what 9 minutes a mile feels like on the legs, etc., etc. Onward we go. Have a great weekend, and I'm gonna be cheering on my Nuggets, man. Oh man, we are Colorado sports fans in this household, and to be sticking it to the Lakers right now, I love you, California, but man, it feels good after 40 years, not 10 years, not 5 years, 40 years of pain from the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, right there. right there. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.